Hey guys, welcome back to Explainer X. Today, I am going to recap a 2008 romance movie named The Sleeping Dictionary. So, let's begin. In the beginning of the movie, we see John who reaches a village named Shravik via boat. After reaching there, John meets his senior officer Henry. Henry welcomes him and asks the reason for his coming here because John was a talented boy and he had many options apart from this job. John tells Henry on this matter. His father was in the military when he started his job. Then he was sent to this village. Then he taught some people of the village, but later he dies in a war, due to which my father's dream of teaching this village remained incomplete. But John has come here and he will fulfill his father's dream. After this, Henry takes him to that village, where John meets the head of that village. The villagers say this to John: if he wants to live in this village, then he will have to follow all the rules of this village. After this, the chief gives wine to John and asks him to drink, but John does not drink, but here he could not refuse, because if he refused, then it would insult the whole village. And so he starts drinking wine. After this, he sees that beautiful girl who brought the wine and he keeps looking at her. That girl falls in love with him at first sight. After this, the villagers dance according to their tradition and they ask John to dance as well. After this, John stands up and narrates a poem to everyone, but no one likes his poem. After this, a man named Balansai comes to John and he starts dancing with John. Seeing both of them dancing, everyone starts laughing and makes fun of both of them. Next day, Henry brings that girl for John, whose girl John likes. That girl's name is Salima, and John did not know the language of that village, and Henry tells John, Salima will teach you the language of this village. Henry tells John here that Salima will take care of his every need and she can treat John like a wife, and he can be intimate with her too. John feels very strange when he hears these words of Henry, but Henry is John's boss and on his insistence John has to obey him. But John tells Henry, I will learn the language from Salima, but will not be intimate with her. Henry gets angry on hearing John's words and walks away. This is where we see some Chinese people enter the village, who were killed by these people. The chief asks John to get his severed heads, but John gives this work to Balansai, but Balansai brings some monkeys instead of Chinese people, due to which John's joke here again goes to John. There is a lot of insulative feeling on this. After that, we see the man who works with John brings his nephew so that John can intimate with him, because the man thinks that John is not intimate with Salima because John is a gay. John gets very angry when that man says this, and he asks that man to let fellow Salima go from there, on which the man tells John, if Salima left from here, everyone will think that John is really a gay. After this, John stops Salima from leaving. Once John was teaching children. At the same time, he learns that Balansai is the only person in this village who can hold his breath for the longest time underwater, on which John challenges him and there is a competition between the two. In this game, John uses oxygen cylinder, but the people of this village do not know anything about oxygen cylinder and John wins this competition easily. After this, the people of this village start respecting John a lot and they start obeying him. At night, when Salima is teaching John the language of that village, then both of them come very close to each other and become intimate with each other. After this, both of them go on like this and both of them get intimate many times. Once Salima gets intimate, she starts going to her house. On this, John asks him to stay here for the night, but Salima tells John, if she stayed with him at night, then both of them would get engaged because it was the custom of those people, but John did not want anything like that. The next day, we see Henry invites John to his house for dinner. Henry has a daughter whose name is Cecil. She has come here after studying from England. She was doing research on the people here in England and she comes to know a strange truth about the people here. She came to know that in earlier times, whenever an officer used to come to this village, the villagers used to give him a girl to be intimate. All this was the custom of this village. That girl teaches the language to the visiting officer. Apart from this, there was also an intimate with him, but Cecil does not know this. The people here still follow the same customs. Cecil asks John over here, is there any feeling developed in that girl in the officer who came? But Henry used to have a different view from these people. Henry used to think this thing was absolutely wrong. Henry used to think there should not be any feeling between the girl and the officer of this village. This is simply a custom of the village. But John thinks so. There should be a real feeling between the two of them because John too was feeling the same for Salima now. Cecil wanted to do more research here and John helps him in his research and takes him around the whole village. Cecil's mom sees these two together and she tells John, John, you should marry my daughter because you two look great together. Hearing this, John feels very strange. John is unable to speak anything because of Henry here. Within a few days, the people of the village suddenly fall ill and these people start dying one by one. No one could understand what was happening here. After that, John and Balansai go to check in the forest where they see some people who were mining silver. Seeing these people, John understands. These people are the reason for whoever is dying in the village. After that, both of them come back to the village. Then they see that Salima has also fallen ill. Rice was given to the people of the village to eat, and people are dying after eating the same rice. Mining people did all this so that no one would know about their mining, and all the people would die after eating the rice. When John comes to know about all this, then he tells all the truth to the villagers, after which the villagers kill all those people, while on the other hand we see John, who is very scared of Salima getting sick, and he asks her to marry him. But Salima speaks to John here. No one will allow him for this, and it will be very difficult for us. After this, John goes to Henry, but Henry agrees clearly because it was against the rule of his government. Henry tells John here he has to separate from Salima. If he does not separate from Salima, he will be thrown in jail for breaking the rule. The same we see Salima in the village, whom the people of the village blackmail and tell her this. If she does not get away from John, then her father will be killed, and John will also have to be sent to jail. After this, John and Salima have to obey everyone. After this, we are shown a scene after 1 year in the movie. John and Cecil go to town and get married to each other. Then asks John on her first night, was there any girl intimate with him in the village? But John tells absolutely the truth here, and he tells everything to Cecil, but this doesn't matter to Cecil. After a few days, John decides to go to the same village again. When these people go to the village, then these people show the movie to the villagers, but John's eyes were just looking for Salima. Then Cecil also notices John's antics, and she tells John she has come to know that Salima is married and has a child, and she is very happy in her life. The next day, John sees Salima, who is with her child. When John sees that child, he feels as if it is his child. He then talks to a man and asks Salima to call him to a place. After this, John meets Salima, and he tells her he knows very well that it is his child, and he wants to take his son in his hands once. Salima reunites John with his son, but Salima is quite scared that someone will see her with John. John is very happy to see his son. The next day, John makes a toy for his son. When Cecil's mother sees all this, she becomes very upset, and she tells John to stay away from Salima, but John does not listen to her, and he spends a lot of time with Salima and his child. Seeing all this, Balansai gets very angry and plans to kill John. After this, he comes in the night to kill John, but suddenly John wakes up and he escapes from Balansai's attack. After that, John goes and tells all this to Henry. Then Henry takes the decision to kill Balansai. At the same time, John learns a truth that Salima is Henry's daughter. When Henry came to this village for the first time, he also got intimate with a girl, and Salima is the daughter of that girl. But Henry could not adopt his daughter because of his wife. After this, we see that Balansai is sentenced to death. Balansai is going to be hanged on the second day. But before that, John meets Balansai and he rescues Balansai and asks him to run away from here. Salima also comes there. John tells Salima they too will run away from here to live together. On the other hand, Cecil's mother is very upset with John and Salima's closeness, and she tells Salima to get intimate with the new officer who came to this village. If she is not intimate with the new officer, then she will be put in jail along with her child. After this, the new officer takes Salima to his house and tries to force her, but Salima kills him as Salima is about to run away with John today, while on the other hand, Cecil tells John that she is going to be the mother of his child. When John listens to Cecil, he does not understand anything about what he should do next. John then decides that he will stay with Cecil and writes a letter to Salima that he cannot come with her, but Cecil sees that letter. Cecil knew that John still loves Salima, so she tells John to go to Salima because she feels as if John is with her, then he will never be happy and he will always think about Salima. On the other hand, we see Henry and Salima. Henry is looking for Salima because Salima killed that officer, but when Salima comes in front of Henry, then Henry gives him his gun and says, "You always be happy and from this place go far away." Salima comes to know that Henry is her father, but Salima never said anything about Henry. But we see that police officer is not dead yet, and he reaches Henry's wife, tells the police officer to go and catch John and Salima and kill them both, and they both ask Henry to join their plan, but Henry tells them he is not going to do anything like this now, and he wants the happiness of both his daughters. After this, he leaves the officer. The officer goes to find John and Salima to kill. He finds John and Salima. He then tries to do wrong with Salima by gunpointing her, but then the tribals living there come and they kill that officer. In this way, the lives of John and Salima are saved. After this, we see the last scene of the movie. Here John is in the same village with Salima and they are very happy with each other, and this is where the movie ends. I hope you enjoyed the video, so click any video of 3 of them and enjoy next. Please don't forget to subscribe our channel, and please like the video and tell us in the comment how you like the video. I see you soon.